Hey, Pretty Girl Club. So I just got back from the coffee shop. I am sitting here drinking my graham cracker hot oat milk latte. And I just came across some stuff that you guys were sending me. A lot of you guys have been sending me emails and screenshots. You guys have been talking your shit in the Discord because we all know that us exoticals, we can be a little bit messy. So I'm going to make this a part of the Creepy Article series. So on the creepy article series, that is where we lurk around the internet, or we're sharing screenshots and seeing what is going on and seeing what people are saying about us in the YouTube streets or in the actual streets. But has anyone ever noticed that when you are considered the pretty girl, when you're considered the girl with social status, everyone's obsessed with what you're doing? People speculate about you. They speculate about what you look like. What is your life like? Who follows you? What is your YouTube channel like? And so you guys are showing me this YouTube channel named Miss Elite, and I know that she is not a supporter of the exotical community whatsoever. She's definitely an Exoticals United hater, but that's okay. My channel is not supposed to be for everyone. It's only supposed to be for those who can relate to it. But this person says, so she starts off by talking about like Paris Milan's makeup. She's saying where they get lighter makeup, I think it's the makeup, where they get lighter makeup for the center to put focus on their best features. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right now, it's a bronzer trend where you appear darker or less is more makeup look. I've been wearing zero makeup and on the rare bronzer, and people love it. Trends come and go. I may just go back to lipstick with a touch of bronzer. So she's trying to imply that Paris Milan looking 15 shades lighter is makeup. And I actually want to talk about that because even if it was makeup, which I don't believe it is, but even if it was, why are so many dark skinned Black women wearing makeup 15 shades lighter? Why are you putting on light skin filters just to talk shit to exoticals or just to feel pretty? And then at the same time, you don't want to give exoticals their exotical tax. And by the way, I have no problem if people like how we look or if they think we're beautiful, if they want to look like us. I actually have no problem with that. The only thing I have a problem with is extreme hypocrisy, such as bullying people or being mean to people or saying they're ugly, they're mid, they're average, they're regular, they can't compete with non Hispanic or non Black Hispanic baddies, and then turning around and trying to look like those very same people. Those are the only ones I call out. I don't call out just regular, everyday women who want to look like exoticals because I don't care about that. But I want to get into this comment. This girl says, them exotic channels are weird to me. They basically use Black women they hate. So she's saying that our channels are somehow using Black women and that we're using them to make content. Kind of like how the Black women empowerment and Black celebrity content creators use mixed race women and exoticals to make content. Look at the Impressive channel, for example. She has 1 million subscribers. She talks about mixed race women all the time. Nobody cares. Lovely T, she talks about mixed race women and light skinned women all the time and makes commentary and throws shade. Even if you look at a lot of the Black media outlets like the Shade Room, I think it's like Neighborhood Talk is one of them. And then a lot of the Black empowerment channels like Queen Chama, Paris Milan, Chrissy, they make commentary all the time on celebrities that have my phenotype. So why is that not using exoticals? But suddenly, if we create our own channels and create responses and talk about the social dynamics between us and unambiguous Black women, suddenly it's a problem. So, do you see once again this repeated rhetoric of, I can dish it out, but I can't take it back? And by the way, this is a sociology Blackness centered channel. So, who else would I talk about? This is my YouTube channel, bitch. I get to talk about whatever I want. This person says, in all honesty, the rhetoric that they spew is what the Black women in the community talk about when they talk about colorism. You can't poke the bear and then cry it scratched me. 1 minute they Black, the next minute they MGM or biracials. Damn right. That's called having a fluid identity. Race is a social construct. So people will always argue back and forth about what your race is. Skin tone is also subjective. Like some people will argue about your skin tone. They'll say, she's light skinned. No, she's not. Oh, she's light brown. Oh, she's dark brown. This is a part of living in the society that we live in. And seeing as this is a sociology channel, we're going to talk about our interactions with society, whether you like it or not. And we're not going anywhere. This person says, yeah, I believe EU's channel, some of her followers are Black women who may be slightly mixed, like a great, great, great situation. Others are actually biracial. Okay, what's wrong with Black women who are slightly mixed? So, do you see the internalized anti Blackness coming out? Being slightly mixed, or I'm assuming by slightly, she means less mixed. So, having less whiteness in your background or having less non Black blood, that doesn't make you invalid on my channel. So, just because you're used to invalidating people who are not 50-50 Black, white biracials or white passing biracials, just because you guys are used to doing that in Blackistan, that doesn't mean that that's what we do over here. So women with large admixtures and stuff, or Blasian women, or dark skin mixed women, or women who benefit from maybe featureism or texturism, they have a voice over here. And I feel like that is the main thing that pisses people off in Blackistan. They don't like the unity that we have over here. They don't like the fact that we are breaking stereotypes and that we're actually having a conversation. And then she says, others are actually biracial. So do you see how she's putting biracial? I'm assuming she's talking about maybe 50-50 Black, white biracial. So do you see how she's subconsciously putting biracials on a pedestal above those who are not a minimum of like 50% white? So she's saying, like, oh, some of you guys are just slightly mixed. Then the other ones are actual biracials. And then this reminds me of the people who got mad at the light skinned monoracial Black women in this space. And then they're saying, well, you're not like Exoticals United because you're not mixed. So you're invalidated. And now we've got people trying to invalidate those who are not biracial. And they're just mad because this channel promotes unity amongst the different mixtures, amongst mixed women, Black women, light skinned women, dark skinned women. The only women who are not the center of my channel are literally unambiguous, monoracial, dark skinned Black women. And that's because you guys said you wanted your own exclusive spaces, which I agree with. You should have your own exclusive spaces and talk about social strategies and stuff on your own. This person says they don't promote Blackness, they diminish it. So apparently, we're diminishing Blackness by being multicultural and multiracial. But this person, so this girl, if I'm not mistaken, this girl is actually one of my main haters from Lipstick Alley. She hangs out on Krusty Lip Alley, if I'm not mistaken, based on her avatar and username. But she says, why is it 99% are hiding behind avatars? I'm not in EU's Discord, but the men she allowed in spilled the tea. They are mostly brown Black women and light skinned Black women. Let's just say one of the guys wasn't impressed. He thought he would be mingling with biracial and mixed women. So, have you ever noticed that whenever the pretty privilege conversation comes up, people suddenly want you to prove how pretty you are? And also, why do you care? Spanish Armada. Why do you care whether we're pretty or ugly? Like, seriously, why does it matter? If we're all ugly and we're all frauds, you should be ignoring us, right? Because we're not a threat. Because we're all ugly, we're fat, we're decrepit. And also, I don't even allow men in my Discord. Have you ever noticed that when people put you on a high pedestal, they literally just start coming up with all these mystical, ethereal stories about you? Like, oh my God, Exoticals United, she's a master manipulator and she's just trying to make unambiguous Black women look bad. And she's a fat white woman. Or they're all fat, they're all ugly, they're all hiding behind avatars because they're ugly. There was a guy in the Discord and he said that they're all ugly. And it's like, if you think we're ugly, then that's fine. Just go ahead and ignore us, right? Go be pretty. Maybe you guys should make channels then about what it's like being a pretty girl since you guys are the pretty ones, right? And I've noticed too, like a woman who truly is confident in who she is, she doesn't feel the need to prove herself. So the women who are anonymous on YouTube, we don't have to prove our identities. We don't have to prove our skin tones like how Paris Milan tried to do. We don't have to prove our racial backgrounds in order for our voices to be valid. This person says, LMAO, some Black men are hilarious. He thought he made it to mixed and biracial woman's heaven. Wow. Girl, let me take all this in. I thought most would be actual biracials at least. So once again, do you see how they're putting 50-50 biracials. I'm assuming that they're talking about 50-50 black-white biracials. Do you see how they're putting them on a pedestal above like light-skinned black women? And this is exactly why we're getting out of your crusty ass YouTube channels in the first place. It's because some of you guys are so fucking self-hating and have such an inferiority complex to the point where we don't want to be associated with it. We love our blackness over here. We love our black phenotypes, or whether we have smaller admixtures, larger admixtures. We don't care over here. We don't believe in racial hierarchies over here. So no, someone being more white doesn't make their voice more valid. And by the way, if you're so obsessed with more white people or people with more white admixtures having a voice, then where is your community? Have you ever noticed that it's always the people that don't have shit going for themselves that feel the need to talk about you? This person says, men lusting over a voice filter and an avatar telling them how beautiful they is. I mean, if a man is that, first of all, do you see how they randomly bring up men into the conversation? This is literally a decentering men style channel, but we can't keep the men away no matter what we do. And now we've got these male centered women randomly bringing up men. Oh, men are lusting over a voice filter and an avatar. Who cares about what men are doing? We don't give a fuck what men think of our beauty or think of our channels or our voices over here. Men aren't even supposed to be on this channel. My audience is actually 90% women. But do you see how obsessed they are with men? These are like femcells on this channel. Like this is like a femcell talking point. Men are lusting over them. What do the men think of them? Oh my god, they had men in their Discord. They're obsessed with men because they don't have access to men. And I've noticed that whenever you talk about pretty privilege, regular black girl, she did a video about this. It was an excellent video. You guys should check her out. But whenever you talk about pretty privilege, people automatically call you male centered. And it's like, no, the men are centering us. How obsessed do you have to be with exoticals to try to get into a Discord or something, or maybe pretend to be a woman to get into a Discord? Because I don't even allow men to really comment on my channel or like be in the personal women's spaces because it's supposed to be a safe space. So, how obsessed and how much of an incel does a man have to be in order for him to pretend to be a woman just to get into a Discord, just to maybe start rumors or try to look at pictures of what women look like and try to judge them and say, "Oh, you're a 6, you're a 5." This is typical incel red pill behavior. And I just think it's hilarious how some women are so male centered that they will believe like a red pill incel before they will believe an exotical. It reminds me of the women who want to vote for Trump as a humbling tactic towards Kamala. But no, this person says, I knew it. Exotical frauds. I know Tyrone was mad disappointed, like Terry Crews in that movie with the Wayans brothers. And it's like, if we're all frauds, why do you care about us then? Why are you talking about us? Why are you thinking about us? Why are you posting about us? Why are you commenting on us? We're all frauds, right? We're all fat. I'm a fat, unambiguous, mono, dark-skinned black woman, right? I'm fat and ugly. So you guys shouldn't even be curious about us. We should be invisible because we're irrelevant, right? We're all frauds. Everything's fake. My subscribers are fake. Everybody's fake, just like what Paris said, just like what Chrissy said, right? We're all fake. So then why are you so pressed over someone who is a fraud? Wouldn't you just let them be a fraud and just let them embarrass themselves? Since you're not threatened by them or anything, since you're not jealous or anything. But this guy, Popeye's Biscuits Be Dry, this guy has already made multiple videos about my channel. So he watches my channel a lot. So this is how I know that a lot of people who hate on us exoticals, they're actually fans. They are huge fans of us. They are speculating about us because that's how high of a pedestal they place us on. They're curious. Like I saw where some people were purchasing my Patreon and membership and the course just so they could try to see photos of some of the women who are like in my Discord, because that's how much of a pedestal we are on. People literally, they want to get as close to us as possible. They're riding our clit, because I don't say riding my dick. They're riding our clits. They're riding our tit because they're obsessed. This person says it's hard to take what you're saying because you off rip sound like you're not a fan of EU. like many other Black women are. Hopefully, one day you can really take the time to watch her content and get something better out of it. And it's crazy how Black male centered a lot of Black women are. Sad cases. Exactly. Then somebody else says, "Me and all my biracial friends love the channel. She speaks on taboo topics that others are afraid to address. All three of us who are biracial never joined a Discord of hers either. We watch the videos here on YouTube, mama." This person says, "Yes, Miss Latina couldn't wait to get back and report how the Black men didn't deem them light enough. People get weirder by the day." Yeah, I noticed that people, they love telling you you're not light skinned, you're not mixed enough, your hair's not curly enough, you're not pretty enough. Anytime you start talking about the privilege conversation, people don't want you to talk about it, or they think that by bringing in some like dusty incel males, they think that those men can just say to you, "Oh, you're a 6 out of 10. Okay, you're ugly. You don't have pretty privilege." Well, some random person online doesn't determine our value. Us exoticals, we know our value. We know our worth regardless of what others think of us. We are not deterred by random people thinking you're not mixed enough, you're not light skinned enough, you're not skinny enough, you're not pretty enough. Like, who cares? People do that all the time. What they don't understand is that exoticals are used to receiving haters all the time. It's so funny because somebody was like, when I did the video on Paris Milan, when I compared her to my skin tone, somebody was like, "Exoticals United is not light skin. She doesn't count as light skin. She's light brown." First of all, if dark brown skin is dark skinned, then how is light brown not light skinned? So that's number one. Number two, I've never been called dark skinned in my entire life. I've actually never even been called quote unquote brown skin in my entire life. I've only ever been called light skinned, yellow bone, red bone, golden. That's pretty much it. Beige, sandy, high yellow heifer. I've been called all kinds of names. So what these people don't understand is that coming online and trying to invalidate someone's experiences, you can't erase a lifetime of their experiences. You can't argue with other people's life experiences. So just because you might have an opinion, guess what? Your opinion is meaningless to me. Your opinion is worthless to me. And then somebody else called out this girl that was trolling exoticals. She was like, "I'm not a fan of weird women. I just enjoy calling y'all out. Why didn't Daquan date you? Since he's searching for, quote, actual mixed girls in a random Discord, you have Spanish in your username. I'm pretty sure you fit his type to the T. Good luck with your channel, mama." Okay, so apparently this is a girl with a struggle channel as well. Okay, that would make even more sense as to why she's hating. Then somebody else said, "First thing they're worried about is men, of course." Yep. Shout out to Blaxican Beauty TV. This person says, she says, "She just wanted to remind us that they are more the preference. I guess I'll go cry now." Yeah, I've noticed this thing where extremely male centered women, they'll try to come onto my channel and they'll try to be like, "Well, you guys all have avatars. The Black man on YouTube said that we are the actual pretty girls. So all of you guys are anonymous. I'm showing my face, and men think that I'm pretty, and they don't think you're pretty." Okay, but sis, if you are actually as pretty as you say you are, actual pretty women can get validation in real life. We don't have to come on YouTube and prove our beauty to others. We can simply mind our business and make our content and just decenter men. So, do you see how obsessed they are with men, just randomly bringing up men? These are femcel talking points. They're so obsessed with men. Their pussies are so dry 24/7. They're itching for male attention. And so they think that we are the same as them. It's like, no, sis, we don't have to do that. Like, we're decentered in real life, or we get the validation that we want in real life. So we don't have to come online and prove our skin tones to you or prove who we are. This person says, "We don't want him. If you all were really in the Discord, you would see how anti Tyrone we actually are. But you mentioned him. For some reason, you're worried about Tyrone's preference." Exactly. The women who try to come against our channel, they always do male-centered insults. Have you ever noticed that? Like Paris Milan, she was like, "Oh, well, I look better than you guys." It's like, we never said that this was a beauty competition, sis. We're not competing with you, sis. So you just expose yourself, boo. You expose yourself as competing with us in terms of beauty and desirability in the eyes of men. Any woman who is actually happy with her appearance doesn't feel the need to prove herself to others. Any woman who is confident in her skin tone doesn't need to prove her skin tone to others. This girl says, you don't need to worry, or this girl says, girl, it's not that deep. You don't need to do any of that weird passive aggressive ish. I just think it's interesting how you compete for Tyrone with Exoticals. If you were in the space, you would know that we decenter men, especially Tyrone, but you just made me think of a great video idea. Exactly. This is how I know that these women are male centered because number one, if they watched this channel, they would know that we have 50 videos about decentering men, but they always have to randomly bring up men. And then somebody else said, I think she's upset. You said they are black women cosplaying to be mixed and biracial. At least that's what I can deduce from the conversation. Who's cosplaying at being mixed and biracial? Point fingers and name names. Who? Who's doing that? Because I haven't seen it. And also, I thought that we were all frauds anyway, right? I thought that we're all frauds. I thought that all my subscribers are fake. I'm fat and ugly. We're all frauds. So which one is it? Pick a talking point. So aren't we all frauds, including the mixed women? So why do you guys care if all of us are fake? Why do you care who's cosplaying to be mixed or biracial? Which I haven't seen, but I mean, if you think that's what's going on, then now what? Let's say that people are cosplaying to be mixed and biracial. Okay, now what? We're still here. Our channels are still here. We're still getting our exotical tax. We've still got you talking. But anyway, what do you ladies think about people being obsessed with us? They're obsessed with the exoticals. They love our channels. They'll never admit it, of course, but they love our channels. They love watching us. But what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.